Well, welcome back folks, welcome once again to the Humber. I am in exactly the same spot as you left me in the last video. Now, I think I mentioned I was going to get my head down in the van for an hour. Then I realised I'd still got my camping gear in from the Chazwell trip the other week. So I got a sleeping bag out and that hour turned into 4. And I woke up at 7:30. By which point, there's a couple of lads already set up behind me. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the GoPro. So I thought, you know what, why not, let's have another go. Quick nip to McDonald's for some breakfast. Called at a co-op to get a sandwich. It's about 8:30. High water is at 10. And as we've seen in the last video, it fishes a lot better on the ebb, so hopefully we've timed it about bang on. Lads behind me have had whiting, haddock. Looks like the lad down there, down the far end's got another small whiting, maybe a dab. And I realised last night that despite having all them little codling, that I haven't got a codling for the species, and I didn't take a single picture of them with my species card. So we could do with a codling, we could do with a haddock. I think that would put me up to 26 species for this year. I'd like to try and get over, is that the front of my hat? All the way over there on the piss. I'd like to try and get over 30 species. I think we're running out of time. The species hunt ends on the 1st of December. So yeah, running out of time to get up to the 30 species, but we could do with a haddock and a cod for the species hunt. Well, first cast, first blood. You don't mind catching whiting when they're that size, do you? Great start. That took the squid and carp wrap, but yeah, lovely little fish. So that's going to go. I'm going to add that to the whiting pile that we had last night. That's going to make a lovely little fish cake. Right then folks, it is bang on high water. Just put out new baits. So on one rod I'm rotating a 3-hook flapper with smaller hooks. The lads just up the way are catching loads of small haddock and whiting. I've been fishing with a 2-hook clip down with size 1/0s on, and you can see the rod tip just every now and again just rattling. And whilst I'm not overly interested in small fish, I think it's fair to say, who is, but yeah, whilst I'm not overly interested in catching loads of small fish, it would be good just to start hooking up with some of the ones that are stealing my bait. So yeah, I'm cycling through a 3-hook flapper with size 1s and that 2-hook clip down with 1/0s. At the minute I've got the 2-hook clip down out there, which has got the 1/0 hooks on, and I've just got small prawn baits, basically king prawn that I've just butterflied and wrapped on there, because a lot of the cod that I was catching last night had all got prawns in the mouth. So I've got prawn baits on the clip down, and I've just put out the pulley pennel rig with bluey and carp wings. Now it's a bit of a new one to me, but I see a lot of the northeast lads like to back their carp wings with chunks of bluey, just to get a bit more scent in the water. And if you can't beat them, why not copy them? Otherwise it's been a relatively quiet morning, but I kind of expected that. Like I say, now it's over high water. Hopefully the tide will turn. Well, there's no hopefully, is there? The tide will turn. That's almost as guaranteed as the sun coming up. But yeah, the tide's going to turn, and hopefully the fish will come on the feed. Another whiting. Change to them smaller hooks. First bite, first little rattle, hooked up. It's done the job. That's another one. Another one towards the fish cake fund. Right, well, just to prove my point, that's the smallest whiting of the day. Those little size 1 hooks finally finding what it is that's picking away at the baits. So he is fortunate enough not to be going in a fish cake. He's going to go back to fight another day. Well folks, it's just coming up to 1 PM. It's gone very quiet. So what are we, 3 hours after high water, 3 hours to go till low water. Yeah, it's gone really quiet. Still seeing the odd occasional rattle, but even smaller hooks now aren't connecting. So I can only assume the micro whiting have become nano whiting. I was debating calling it quits and heading home, but then just as I was debating that, there's been a load of people rock up and set up. Like I say, I was expecting it to fish better on the ebb. So far it's not been, well, I suppose it has been the case. We've got whiting and stuff, but I think they're about all the time. But with all these folk just turning up now for low, possibly to fish down to low water, yeah, maybe we don't call it quits just yet. I have been checking the, I'm paranoid about these microphones, so I've been checking the clips and I've noticed that some of the audio is not very good. I think I've adjusted the settings. I think one of the cables is starting to show signs of abuse. So I think I've adjusted the settings slightly to try and compensate for some of that. Hopefully the audio's alright. Sod it, let's fish all the way down to low. I'm definitely not going to fish the high water. I'm starting to get bored of this mark. I like a change of scenery, me. So yeah, let's fish it down to low. We've got 3 more hours. Let's hope the cod turn up. Like I say, we've got plenty of bait left to go out. We've got a couple of prawns, a couple of blueies, another pack of blacks, a couple of cart wings, so and probably a quarter of a bag of squid left. So we've got plenty to go at. I've got nothing better to do with that. So right then, because I like to prove my point, I switched down to size 6 hooks. There we have, look, nano whiting. Almost like fry these things. There must be absolutely thousands of them out there. So it's keeping me entertained for a little bit anyway. There's still nothing on the big rods. I'm just using teeny tiny small worm baits on the air talk. Keep putting out the big baits. Yeah, we haven't found the big old cod yet, but these guys are keeping me entertained for a little bit at least. Alright folks, we have got about half an hour left until low water. It's just gone 3:15 in the afternoon. It's been a rather slow, steady session. Like I say, loads of micro, nano whiting. I've swapped back now to the bigger 2-up clip down, hoping that as the tide starts to slacken off, the cod will turn up. I've just took new baits out. So we've got tiny little black and squid wraps about this big on those 1/0 hooks on the 2-up clip down, and on the pulley pennel rig we've got blacks and cartwing. And yeah, I've chucked everything I can at it. With, like I say, plenty of whiting to be had. No haddock for me and no codling for me. But if yeah, I feel like I've chucked everything possible at it. Every bait combination that I've got in the box, mixed it around with different rigs, different hook sizes, etc. No haddock to be found and no codling to be found as yet. These are the last casts I'm going to put out there. I think I've fished for plenty long enough. By the time I get home, I'll have been left home for what, 28 hours. So yeah, I think definitely not going to outstay my welcome. Hopefully that big cod we had last night hasn't used up all my cod quota for this winter. I am going to wrap the video up now. I've already started packing down. I've had a bit of a tidy up of the area because once again people seem to think that these easy marks mean that you can just come and drink beer and leave your bottles and cans and crisp packets and shit floating around. So I have had a bit of a tidy up. I've tidied the box up, I've packed all my bait away, I've got a rubbish bag on the go. Yeah, I'm going to leave these baits for 20 minutes or so and then we're going to call it quits and head home. If we do get anything on these last casts, I'll stick it in right about now. Hey, well that's something different for the day, isn't it? Another species, finish the session off. Took one of them tiny little squid and black wraps. Pretty sure that is a flounder. Lovely little specimen, absolutely. Not a mark on it, not a hair out of place. Lovely little fish. And if not, there's not a lot more for me to say other than thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care and tight lines.